Making a mess, making a mess. Hello, everybody. I'm so sorry I wasn't talking. I didn't realize you guys were here. Hello, Chris. Happy birthday. Hi, Patty. I'm doing good. How are you? Hi, Wild Farm. It's good to see you guys. Jan, hello. Molly, hello. Jeez, this is fun. So many people here. I'm prepping this canvas because we're going to play a little bit today. But I'm going to wait for this to dry before I tell you what we are going to play with. And until then, we're going to work on this incense holder and this incense holder. These are both based off, I still have one more top swoop to do here. Still have, it's all based off of the new pattern that I released. Let me scroll back. I missed comments. Sorry. Went from 2 to 31 real fast. I hope you've had a good day. It's good to see someone making a mess while base painting. I get it all over my hands. Everywhere. Yeah. Like, this is really, really clean compared to normal. And you know what? Get messy. Who cares? It comes off in water, right? Caffeine Cuss Words, I love your username as well. Oh, so I hope you've had a good day. It does look very palm tree-ish, doesn't it? Oh, that's wonderful, Molly. I'm glad you'll be here for a bit. That's lovely. So the new pattern that I released that's called Hope was originally done in these colors on a mug. Then I did the candle holder, and now I'm working on the incense holder, and then again, slight variation. It's all going to depend on how many dots you get around your center. Oops, I'm getting some glare. Sorry, guys. How many dots you get around your center circle to see how many of these you get, right? Like on this one, I have 12, and on this one, I have 8. So spacing is all what's going to make the difference. But the good news is to do the pattern, you don't have to worry about having the same number of dots, right? You can just use it as your pattern for getting around everything and creating that symmetry. Whether you have 10 dots or 18 dots, the symmetry in the pattern will take care of itself. So if you want to paint this and you would like to check out the pattern, it's available for $5.50 Canadian in my website. Link is in my bio. Business done. I'm doing good, Molly. How are you? How you feeling? So we've got quite a few on in the work in progress. I'll try and get them all in here. And then I have 2 finished that are listed on the website right now. But we're going to have another 5 here pretty soon. This one is already on the website. And this one is already on the website. And then these guys will go up hopefully next weekend, I'm hoping. No, I was working on this before I went live and I didn't have time to do the last one. It was either do the last swoop or pee before the live. And I chose to pee. The gray one. Isn't it cool? I can't wait to do more of this one. I'm starting to do the pattern for it, and it's turning out a little bit different, but I think it's still going to look super, super cool. So that one's going to be really, really fun. I'm doing it in the green, though, but I want to have quite a few of these done in different colors, just so that I can kind of show you all the different colors and ways that you can use these patterns, right? You know, just changing up the colors alone makes it look like a whole brand new piece, right? Right? Had to choose to pee. Seems quite literally everything is happening to your... Oh, have you heard anything else, Molly? And of course, you don't have to talk about it here. It's totally up to you. So this is an incense holder. This is gypsum plaster. This is what it looks like before it's painted. I buy Ultra Cal 30 from a sculpture supply store in Mississauga, Ontario. And then I have molds that I got from the Devon Dotting, not Happy Dotting Company. That's other molds. And so I mix up the plaster and pour them in, let them sit to dry for a week, and they're good to go. So that's what I make my candle holders out of. I make some nice symmetrical fake stones out of it, some puffy hearts, all of that good stuff. It's a lot of fun. Oh, thank you so much, Angel Lady. That's so kind. I hope that answered your question, Original the Art. If you have any others, please don't hesitate to let me know. Ooh, a chariot wheel. Yes, it does totally, doesn't it? I love that. Is that the Leprechaun Man? This is the one that was done in green, and you had the dudes with their beards. Tests aren't back yet, but situation symptoms for Reno changed. Oh, Molly, I'm so sorry. Thank you, Mama Minecraft. Thank you so much. I'm so glad you like them. So I get to a point where I've got a bunch work in progress. This one I have to varnish. I'm not doing anything on the edge of this one, just like the green one that I did. Anything on the edge, kind of feeling like it's going to take away from the design. It doesn't really need it. So this one is ready for varnish. This one needs, this one has all the fluorescents and the metallics. This one needs the side done. I'm in the process of doing the side for this one. This one was actually based off of an old stone that I did about 2 years ago. And then that's the side there. Let me scroll back and catch up on the comments. Make sure I haven't missed anything. Does the ashes from the incense mess up the artwork? So I actually seal it with a varnish. So you can clean the ashes from the incense off just with a damp cloth or a damp paper towel, no problem. All of the healthy, right? Sending so much. Isn't the metallics fun? How it just kind of, it looks kind of trippy almost. And I'm kind of excited to see once I add them some more on the sides. I think it's going to look super, super cool. It's making me want to start playing with neon paints to try some glow in the dark stuff. I don't use the Liquitex varnishes. I used to, and they're really, really good. I screwed up and I stuck some satin varnish back in my matte varnish bottle by accident. And so I didn't have a matte varnish and kind of ran out of fun. So I saw someone using Mod Podge. And when you water it down, it creates an amazing seal. And it's a beautiful matte finish. So this is all sealed with matte Mod Podge. You can wipe it down with a cloth. Here's a wet cloth here. You can wipe it down nice and easy. Nothing comes off. Keep it nice and clean. The sides and the bottom are varnished as well. And the thing that's really, really nice is it doesn't get all tacky and sticky like Mod Podge can. So what I did was I had a huge bottle of Mod Podge. So I went to the dollar store and I picked up a small bottle. Where did I put it though? Oh, bother. Well, anyways, it was a Mod Podge bottle that was like one of your 2 fluid ounce ones. And what I did is I emptied out half of it back into the big container, filled it up half with water, gave it a good shake, and it's now good to go. And so I just pour it out and it spreads really nicely. It doesn't get all cloudy if there's bubbles or where it builds up. I'm really, really happy with it. I had never watered Mod Podge down either. I had never done it, and I really, really, really am happy with it. Really, really happy with it. So, what we're gonna do is we're gonna start adding in some detail. Oh, you're most welcome. Molly, what can we do for ya? Thank you for sharing the lives, you guys. It's really cool that you can use the Mod Podge because it's so much more inexpensive too, right? Which is always nice. Always nice when you can save a buck or two. Still my scissors, yes, good. I grabbed some duct tape or maybe it's electrical tape. I don't know. No, this isn't electrical. This is duct tape. So that when I have my little, I went and bought 2 more of these too. These things are fantastic. Hi, Paula. Good to see ya. How you doing? And then this lets me tape my lid back because they don't stay out very well. Thanks, guys. Haven't been on your account in a while. I don't know if anybody has yet, Chris. But thank you for checking. I haven't been on your account in a while, but I used to watch. Was your username the same back then, Abby? And regardless, welcome back. It's nice to see you again. Is that for stinkers? What? Is that for sinkers? Not sure you know what you mean. I think it's for, I think it's for, like vitamins or a pill container, but it's, it was actually in the craft section. So, I think this was a bead organizer. They were lovely. They were like $2.29 each, $2.50 each at this dollar store that I went to. All right, so let's get this other green swoop on here, and then we can start adding in some detail. Get this final one on. Oh, and you know what else we need to do? We need to do top dots. Some top dots on the mug, on the white mug, the pair of anniversary mugs. So I'll grab them too, because that'll be a nice couple quick projects that we can kind of power through. The hard part with this stuff is a lot of times you have to sit and wait for paint to dry before you can move on to the next step, right? Like I have multiple layers of these top swoops that I'm going to put on here, but I have to wait until they're all completely dry before I can move on, right? It's good to see you, Abby. How you been? Oh, just painfully bored, are ya? The green is not straight out of the bottle. It's one that I mixed about 5 different greens in to get and then created the color grade. But I used a combination of DecoArt Crafters acrylic in Hunter Green, DecoArt Crafters acrylics in Christmas Green, DecoArt Americana in Hunter Hauser Dark Green, Sour Apple, DecoArt Americana, and Festive Green, DecoArt Americana. So lots of custom mixing to get these colors. I do that a lot. But you can grab any 5 greens and go through a pattern like this. There's 5 greens in total. These are incense holders, so the incense sticks right in there like that. I know, it's so nice not to have to use multi-surface. It's kind of cool. All right, so now what is the next step on this one? The next step on this one is I go for gold. And I put saran wrap on here because they aren't super, super tight closers. So I just put some saran wrap underneath and then the duct tape to hold that open. Thank you, Boss Sparkle. I appreciate that. All right, so now I'm going to put some dots out here. We've got some tiny detail dots we're going to add on to here too. Let's see if we can zoom in a little bit for you. What have you guys been up to today? How's everybody doing? Patty, you doing good? Jan, you doing good? Molly, I'm really glad you're here so that we can hopefully help you with the boredom for a couple hours at least. Chris, I hope you've had a good birthday. Paul, have you been painting today? The very thin tool here, this one is it's a clay sculpture tool. We call it a micro dotter. You can also get scoring and puncture tools from Dollar Tree that work very, very similar. And And then the others are nail dotting stylus tools. They all have different size metal balls on the end. How do you prepare these to paint on them? So I make them from gypsum plaster, and they have to air dry for a week before you can paint on them. And then I put usually two layers of gesso on the surfaces, and then we are good to paint the design. So we're going back to our dark green here. All right, here we go. Oh, thank you, Kim. That's so kind. I appreciate that. I'm glad you like them. That makes me happy. All right, so we're going to do a really big dot on here. So I think we're going to do actually a 16. All right. Now these little pie bead containers are really, really helpful. However, it's a lot of paint. So this is definitely one of those times where I need to challenge myself to use up these paints and paint as many different projects with these greens as I possibly can. Because they're all custom mixed, so I don't want any of them to go to waste. Well, that went kind of wonky, didn't it? See if I can fix this. If not, we'll wipe it off and start all over again. While I'm painting, for anybody who's new to my lives, while I'm painting, I can't see my phone screen, so I pause every once in a while to come back and catch up on comments that I've missed. So just know that if I don't answer your question right away, that I will come back and try to catch up. And as you've seen, I've got some friends here who very likely will know the answers to common questions, so they might answer some for you as well. Before I get back there. All right, let's keep going. Hi, Cindy. How you doing? So when I mess up, I will pull the paint off, and I try to get it when the paint is as wet as possible, because then it won't leave any bumps on the surface. If it leaves bumps that I don't want to be there, I'll actually sand them off, and then I'll just repaint back over with the base color. It's really just about removing what you don't like and waiting for it to dry, and then painting back over in the base color and doing it all over again. And it happens all the time. If anybody tells you that if you want to get into this artwork, it's so wonderful and so healing and so fabulous. But make sure you go in with the understanding that you will make mistakes, and you will make a lot of them. And it's all okay. You have to make mistakes to experiment and learn new things. It's all part of the learning, but it happens. And doesn't matter how many years you've been doing it, mistakes happen all the time. So the sooner you kind of just become one with that idea, it gets a little less frustrating sometimes. There's lots of swearing. Lots of swearing in dot mandalas. Thank you. This is a version of the Hope pattern, Cindy. So this is the one that I started painting on the workshop on Saturday evening, and then I painted one that was true to the same colors. Oh no, sorry, this was the Sunday afternoon one, and then on the Saturday evening I painted one that was the same colors as the pattern. And it's cool because they're all different sizes, right? It depends on how many dots you get around your center dot, how big everything's going to be. So this one only has 8, basically, petals going around it. But then have a look at this one. And it has a lot more, because I started off a lot smaller and differently spaced there in the middle. So it's kind of cool how you can take the same pattern. The pattern itself will teach you the symmetries that you need, so the number of dots you end up with really, really don't matter. But it's just so fun to see all the ways that a pattern can look different with different colors. It's so freaking cool. All right. Oh, I just got my tool all covered in paint again. All right, let me catch up here. Thanks, Molly. I figured you'd like the green. Your mug, by the way, is almost cured, so I'll be getting that on its way to you too. Yeah, that's exactly what I do. When I mess up, I try not to swear. It's good to see you, Christine. Hi, Allie. How you doing, love? So much swearing. We'll be offering a French swear word class soon. Live on the Facebook group. How would you like to learn how to swear in French? Because have we got the instructor for you? Oh, we have so fun. Hi, Jennifer. So that's the hard part, right? You got to paint what you enjoy, right? If you're only painting the stuff that you think is going to sell, then even some of that stuff won't necessarily sell. I think that anything with your artwork on it that you spend some time with, somebody's going to want them. Somebody's going to want them. You'll sign up for that class, Fab Productions. I think it'll be a full house for that one. I'm glad you're doing good, Allie. I'm doing good, honey. Thank you. Thank you for asking. Exactly, right? That would be nice. I won't be coming down to New Brunswick for quite a while, though, unfortunately, Allie. Hopefully we'll get to see you, but I don't know when that would be. You could co-teach that class, Molly? Fantastic. You're totally up for that class. I guess it if you love it. And that's the thing. Everyone's going to see that in the project, right? And these are so much freaking fun to paint. I can't even begin to express to you how much fun these are. So much freaking fun. I think that you'll find that you'll create them very, very naturally and you'll have a blast doing it, and people are just going to feel that in your designs. Since I started doing these, some of the designs that I've done, I've surprised and impressed myself. It's hard to determine who is going to like what and by whom. And that's the thing, right? You almost have to throw it out there and say, I'm going to paint the stuff that I love, that makes me happy, even if that means I jump all over the place, and my people will find me, right? Hi, Barb. Hi, Miss Telia. It's good to see you guys. I'm just going to take a quick drink here. Feeling of impressing yourself. Yes, it really, really does. It's nice when other people say that it's beautiful, but it's so much more fun when you can look at it and go, damn, I did that. Look, I did that. Right? There's that TikTok sound, right? There's the sound that says, look what I made. This came from my hands. It's really fun. It's a rush. It's a super rush. And the really cool thing about that feeling is not only does it feel really good, it's usually a nice jumping off point for more inspiration for future projects too, right? Oh, I put too much tape on there. Boo. All right, so this one I'm going to let sit now because I need those dots to dry and I need the top swoops to dry. So this one is going off to the side for a little bit. And let's do this one, and yeah, we'll keep going with this one. Thanks, boss lady. So I seal with Mod Podge. I use watered down Mod Podge. Oops. I use watered down Mod Podge. It doesn't go tacky. It doesn't go all sticky. It creates a really, really, I have not found any varnish that gives such a nice matte varnish like this. And I'm a super sucker for matte finishes. So this is a big one for me, that I really wanted a nice matte varnish. And this one works great. It doesn't go all sticky. The Mod Podge is watered down, about 50-50 mix with water. And it goes on really easily. It doesn't cloud when it builds up in certain spaces, and it creates a really nice surface that you can wipe down with a damp cloth and clean off the incense ashes nice and easy. All right, so I just need to grab these paints again. Where are we going? So we went 1, 2, 3. I always put my paints in order so I can see where I'm at in all of this. So I've got little tiny detail to add into here and some more. So I just need to figure out where I'm at for this next chunk o' swoops. And I think I'm gonna go one more. So I did 1, 2, 3. I'm gonna go one more, up to one more purple tiny swoops up here, and then we will go for the big swoops that are gonna connect those in the middle, just like the big gold ones I did on the other one did. Thanks, Boss Sparkle. All right, so I'm gonna kind of put you there. Hopefully you'll be able to see okay. Just while I'm painting, I can't see the comments, but I promise I will come back every few minutes just to catch up and see if there's anything that I've missed. I just don't want you to feel like I'm ignoring you. While I'm doing this, my phone is kind of sitting around my eyebrows and just off to my left-hand side. And then once we're done this set of swoops here is the last one I can do before I have to wait for it to dry as well. And that's because the big swoops that are going to go down in the middle, so like these big swoops here, these big gold ones, I couldn't finish those big gold ones until all of these other green ones had dried. If you try to drag a swoop down over partially dry paint, it goes all gummy, and it's a real pain in the butt. And sometimes it can end up lifting up your paint from previous rows. So we're not gonna push it here. We're gonna give this the time that it needs. And we might even be able to come back to this one at the end of the live. We'll see. This one is going to need a little bit something extra because it's smaller than the other one. So I'm going to need to fill up more space to get to the edge. But I think I might do a border. I'm not sure. Like just some rows of dots around the edge. But I'm not 100% sure. We'll see. There was a border that I did when I was going to extend this pattern up to 12 inches. There was a border that I did, let me show you, with these alternating swoops, but the whole line of dots all the way around was following the same pattern as the swoops, only they were offset. Right? So I offset them all so that none of the swoops ended up on the same color dot too often. They were all offset, but I really think I want to do this kind of border again around the edge there. Okay, let me just catch up on comments really quick. Aren't they pretty? Yeah, they're very soft, aren't they? Yes, Boss Lady, I am using acrylic paints. Yeah, it is very soft, very soft and kind of glowy. I'm really, really happy with this. And then when I add the teal in, then it's just going to really, really pop and have some punch. We could actually do some of that on this one after these swoops, actually. We can do some of the detail around the center and some of the teal top swoops on these big blue dudes. And I do have something that I want to play with you guys today. Some of you may remember that I was involved with an ambassador program through Plaid. They make folk art paints, apple barrel, and they make Martha Stewart paints as well, or at least they used to. So I used to be part of an ambassador program where they would send me some paints and all that good stuff. I didn't realize, but they sent me, I went up to the farm today and I had some mail waiting there for me. It's the first time I've been back up there since I moved, really, since the beginning of November. And I had a box waiting from Plaid. So I have new paints, and I don't know about you guys, but I want to play with the colors. Do you guys want to play with the colors with me? I kind of want to sit and play with new paints tonight. What do you think? The surface, I use a watercolor pencil crayon. Thanks, Jan. The watercolor pencil crayon works really, really well. I found that when I was using, I used to use charcoal pencils, and I found that I would burn through them because they would constantly break in my pencil sharpener. Now, maybe I bought a super cheap brand, and if I bought a better brand, that would be different. But the watercolor pencils have been working great. The thing that I need to do, I don't know if everybody needs to do this, but when I put the guidelines down, I go over it very lightly with an eraser, because what can happen is let's look at this one. See how on the side here that dot is kind of pinched in just a little bit? I'm trying to see if there's another one. This one's kind of bad. So see how the dot's kind of pinched in when it crosses over? This is another one here. See how it's kind of straight there? That's what tends to happen when I go over the lines, because they're thicker and they're more waxy. So I draw the guidelines on, then I go over really lightly with an eraser just to make the lines really, really faint. When the paint is completely dry and the piece is completely done, I'll go over it with an eraser again, and then I'll start to go through with a wet cotton swab just to pull off any last little bits. Yes, we want to see new paints. Yay! Okay, we're going to put that one aside then, because where's my lazy Susan? I painted a canvas because I thought this would be fun. Now, I have to show you, this box, though, of paints that I got. Let me actually move that so I don't damage anything. We'll put you over there. We'll put you back over here for a minute, because this is the box of paints that was waiting for me at the farm today. There's 50 bottles of paints in here, and it's about a 50-50 split between regular folk art acrylics and folk art matte acrylics. So you know that I'm going to do a crap ton of stuff with these. And now that I'm comfortable with using some pouring medium to thin out the paints, I think these are going to be pretty freaking cool. So there are a ton of colors that I haven't used before that are really, really pretty. So I figured if we kind of play around a little bit, we'll do a bunch of swoops and we'll see how all of these colors go together and see what we can figure out. So my thought is to start with the regular acrylics, and then we'll do some swoops in each of the colors, and maybe we can even come up with some color ideas for you guys too, right? Which would be super cool. It's gonna take me a minute. Whoop. Oh shoot. Just chuck them all over the place. It's fine. It's totally fine. We got browns, we got blues, we got grays and taupes and sage greens. And we got peaches and other lighter greens. And we got... Oh, this one's really, really pretty. Look at this color. Isn't that beautiful? A lot of them seem like they're almost kind of dusty colors too, which is really fun. 1, 2, 3. More. This is crazy bananas. Ooh, Cindy, you're gonna like this color, Cindy. This one, that's fire coral, but it's in regular acrylic. So never mind, you've already seen it. You've seen the color before. Never mind. What do we have here? That one is another satin. And I think all the rest are matte. Okay, so let's play with some satin paints. You want to see the sugar plum? I know, the mats. I'm so freaking excited. So why don't we, I'll put them in order for color. So that sugar plum color was actually, it's just called maroon. So we're gonna play. We're gonna play. Oh, got this pretty. Oh yes, that's the sugar plum. There you go. Yep. Eggplant. I'm trying to kind of get all the greens and blues and stuff all together. I also got this one that's called Cottage White. It looks almost like it's got some green or blue in it. And there's a couple really pretty taupey colors. Like this one here is called Mauve Dust. And look at this color. Oh, it didn't shake. Hold on. Hold, please. Shake, 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 shake. Do you remember those toys that you could get and you shake them and they go wubba, 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 wubba? Do you remember those? Jibber jabbers, I think they were called. Oh, it still didn't shake very well. So this one's going to need some pouring medium and some stirring. Some of them are a little gummy, but that's all right. Let's see. Oh, no, this one's dead. Oh, this is no good. I wonder if I can get anything out of this. Oh, I don't think I'm going to get anything out of this bottle. Maybe some stirring will work. I might be able to salvage that with some pouring medium. It looks like a Frosty from Wendy's. Looks like that color. All right. So let's start playing with the satin colors. Let's go. I'm just going to do a bunch of swoops with each color. I figure that'll work. We'll just see what we can play with. Money leaving my bank account soon headed towards plaid. Wouldn't a Frosty be great? A Frosty would be good right now, wouldn't it? All right. So, grab here. Let's zoom in. So this one is the maroon, number 415. Of course, I didn't use gesso on this canvas. It's just a test. It's just got black paint on it. So it's a little bit rough for these poor colors. It's a rough surface, and I have nowhere to put these paints. Holy crap, what am I going to do with this stuff? All right. Isn't it pretty? Yeah, Frosty would be good. So this one is called Imperial Red. Ooh. Ooh. Oops. Yeah, these are going to need a lot more mixing than I've done. That's pretty. Are you guys being able to see this? Like are you even able to see the color well? I hope you are. Yeah, it's definitely a lot brighter than the maroon. And this one is called Christmas Red. This one's kind of a muted red. This one, it's kind of a corally red almost. That's pretty though. I like that. Just so you can see it up nice and close. I'll hold it up here too. It's very much a corally kind of color. Next is Fire Coral. And you guys know I'm not a super huge fan of satin paints in anything other than multi-surface, but I'm definitely going to play with these. See if I can get past my stuff. I'll have to buy myself the matte medium next time I go to Michael's. So we have maroon. We have, what was the second one? Maroon, imperial red, Christmas red, and then fire coral. So maroon, imperial red, Christmas red, and fire coral. Those two go really nicely together. And then we have seashell pink. You're welcome. No need to apologize. I know it's hard to see the colors. It's frustrating because the lighting keeps kind of crapping out. Sorry about that. So it's this color here. These are really thick paints. They're going to need lots of pouring medium and lots of shaking. Typical thing with folk art, right? Is we get super thick paints. So that one's pretty too. They're still not getting any of the right colors. Let's see if I can't. Let me turn off these ring lights. We might get more natural color with just my overhead. That actually looks much more accurate to what I'm seeing in person, I think. No, still not showing up well. All right, that's a little bit better. Interested to see how it goes once it dries. So that was seashell pink. And then we have cameo blush. Oh, this one's pretty. That's really pretty. I'm getting a crash course in remembering what gesso does for canvas and how important it is. Filter. Is there a filter I should be adding? Is that what you're saying? All right. Now we go to oranges. First one is called Pueblo. It's kind of like a really rust. Almost like a clay. Terracotta almost, but a little bit more orange, I guess, than terracotta. That paint's already a nice consistency too. I think this one would look really pretty with some different reds and the purples to really kind of expand out the color scheme in the Phoenix designs or sunset designs. All of these colors actually look pretty good together so far. And this one is called Pumpkin. Just a really nice bright yellow, bright orange. That's pretty. Oh, that's pretty. Yeah, they do. No, there is no filter on, unfortunately. All right, we might abandon this because this isn't turning out with us being able to see as much. Yeah, they do look very white. This one is a light, almost baby pink, but not super. And then this one actually does have some peach colors to it. But yeah, I guess my lighting just is not in the best place for this to catch the true colors, I guess. Should we keep going or should I go back to the painting? What do you think? This one's kind of a taupey khaki beige color. Would look really good with a bunch of greens. There's so many greens that came with all of these paints. Excuse me, that I think it'll be Really cool. This one's called Butter Pecan. Looks just a little more taupey compared to that one. You're good either way. Anybody else want to vote? I've got 2 votes so far. Yeah, I think you're right though. I think we should go back to painting. Because this is not showing up. The colors are not showing up nicely here at all. I will show Sugar Plum, certainly. The purples, I only have 2 purples. I've got this Sugar Plum color and I've got a dark plum. Oh, this paint is so thick. I'm not getting it to move at all when I'm trying to shake it. Oh, hold on. Okay. So we'll show Sugar Plum. That's a pretty great color. It's a pretty great color. Okay, I'll do swatches of these other ones, and I'll put a picture somewhere, like maybe on Instagram or something, with some swatches of these different colors. It is hot pinky purple. It's almost iridescent. Isn't it cool? And then the purple, sorry, Mima, the purple that I have is eggplant. Oh, sorry, and this is in the regular satin acrylics. So it's that color, which is lovely. Nice dark plum color. In the matte, though, I did have, how many purples do I have? I've got 2 purples in the matte. So I'll show you those, Mima. And then we'll go back to the painting of the mandalas. So that one in the matte color, in the matte paints, and this one in the matte paints as well. Oh shoot, that nice one. I'm really excited to play with these more. I think they're definitely going to need pouring medium added to them because they're very, 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 very thick. But I think they're going to be fun. I think I've got some ideas for some new color combos too, which is super fun. So we'll come back to this baby now. All right, so in here in the center, I need to start doing some tiny detail. So let's start doing some of the detail work on this. So I'm going to be using a pearl white, and I'm going to be adding little tiny dots in between each of these dots in these first few rows here. I'm going to turn you over here though, so I can bring this closer to myself. And we'll go from here. Okay. Nope, that one is way too big. It's too much paint. There we go. I just needed my smaller tool. Oops, sorry, I didn't mean to shake the camera there, you guys. I think it picks up on the... You see the shaking so much more when it's zoomed in like that too, though, eh? So teeny, teeny, tiny little dots in here. Sugar plum wood. Yes, yes. Well, maybe I can always use it for some of the highlights, some of the top dots. That would be a fun one to use. Yeah, it would fit perfectly in this. All of those purples would, really. And I got a light periwinkle blue. It's like they it's like they knew the colors I was going to want to use. This package has been sitting up at the farm since December. Sometime in December, beginning of December. So it's very exciting. So a lot of these ones, when you're creating these color grades, are going to be, you're going to be able to do them straight out of the bottle. But don't feel that you have to, right? You don't need to go out and buy different colors that are all straight out of the bottle. It makes it easier to keep track of things and to, especially to, you know, use the same color combo on something else a long time later. Like if I want to use this color combo again, I'm going to have to mix new colors and it's never going to turn out exactly the same. Right? Once these paints run out, that's it. So there's a lot of benefit to being able to use right out of the bottle, but don't feel that you have to. You can create a lot of super cool colors by mixing. And the color grades are a great place to go and practice mixing as well if you're not super comfortable with mixing paints, because most of the time it's just adding slightly larger amounts of one color to another. So you can kind of work it out in percentages, right? Like, which can be helpful. So I'll mention that in my patterns as well. So like in this pattern in particular, I go through and I show all the different colors that I use, but I mixed some of them together to get the grade that I was looking for and the continuation of color that I was looking for. So just kind of play around with it a little bit. Oops. And there. Okay. So now we're going to add in some metallic teal. We're going to do that in the form of top swoops on these big purple ones here. I just need to find the right size tool to lay down the dots. And then I'm going to use my other tool to pull the paint into position where I want it to be. Shape it into, into the swoop. Oops. Let me see. Are you wearing your wrist thingy? Usually only when I do mugs or when I do, when I'm painting the edges of these, when I'm painting the side edge, I will hold them because it's hard on the wrist to hold these without touching the table. But yeah, right? It looks so much brighter, right? It's so fun when you start adding in these pops of color that can just go kind of pow and really make the piece kind of come to life. And top dots are a lot of fun. I love the dimension that they create. Molly, have you been able to sit up and do any painting? Or you just been resting? Patty, what you been up to? Done any more painting lately? Mm-hmm. painted a rock today. Fantastic. What colors did you use? Thank you, Rita. That's exciting, Donna. Are you enjoying it so far? Did you enjoy the piece that you did? Did you have fun with it? That's the big thing, right? If you're looking forward to doing it again, then that means the practice is coming easy. And for those of you who've been here with me for a while, you already know exactly what I'm going to say. Follow the fun. The fun makes it easier to practice. It doesn't make the practice feel like work. So make sure you follow the fun. And then when you follow the fun, you'll want to practice more because you'll want to paint more because you'll just be enjoying yourself so much. And the more you paint, the faster your skill develops, right? So I've got a little snaggly bit here. Just want to soften that so it wasn't quite as pointy or jagged of an edge there. So I just went back in with the blue and added a little paint to my my tool. Let's see. I did. Yay, that's fantastic. Blues on white. Oh, pretty. Tried some swoops. They were okay. That's good. Swoops take so much practice, eh? Rita, this is an incense holder, an incense stick holder. So when you're burning your incense, it would stick right in the hole here like this. Thank you, Donna, for the rose. My girlfriend wants some of my rocks. Oh, that's lovely. That's awesome, Patty. Did she give you kind of free license to just paint what you like, or do you have instructions or colors that you have to go by? That's so fun. I feel like this first hour has gone by so fast. Oh, and I just stuck my hand in a bunch of paint. Shit. Where's the person who asked what I do when I make mistakes? This is one of the big mistakes that I always make, is sticking my hand in paint and sticking my tools further into wet paint, making a mess out of everything. Kind of my specialty. Bear with me for a second while I try and wipe my hands off and my tool, and then we can carry on. All right. So when it comes to swoops, as slow as you think you're possibly going, go slower. So if your swoops are not turning out the way that you want them to, when in doubt, go slow. Now the method that I'm using right now, sorry, I'm still opening a pop. The method I'm using right now to use the tool to pull the paint into the shape, that's how I started. I didn't do the dragged swoops for a really long time, like 2 years. And the shaped swoops worked perfectly well for me, and I still really like them a lot when I want to have a ton of control over the shape and the size. So just know that there's more than one way to do them, and practice the different ways and see what you kind of like. But if you're doing the dragged swoops, if the swoops aren't turning out and looking the way that you want them to, when in doubt, slow down. Okay? Free range. Nice. That's fantastic. Hey, Jules, thank you. That's awesome, Patty. And to be able to sit down and and paint a whole bunch that you just enjoy, that's fantastic. Oh, I'm so glad you like the colors, Jules. Thank you. So this design was originally painted on a mug, and then it was one of my card pulls from my Dot Mandala Inspiration deck, which we're going to get back to, by the way, very soon. Get back to using quite a bit. Anyway, so this was the result of a card prompt, and the prompt was a 3-color color grade. So my 3 colors were the periwinkle blue, a darker purple, and then into the pinks. And so this was done on a mug originally, and then I did it on a candle holder. Then I turned it into the pattern. Then I painted it in green as well. Still have more work to do on that one, but so many cool different, I've got so many different color ideas that I want to try with this design. Oh, I'm glad that's helpful, Donna. Not finished the 2 blue mugs yet. I have top dots I still have to do on those. But actually, that wouldn't be a bad thing. Why don't I grab those? Because with the top dots on mugs, you have to wait a full 24 hours to put the next layer of top dots. So if we do top dots today, then should be able to do the final top dots tomorrow. He likes them, did he, Christine? That's so nice. That's so nice to hear. So, to catch everybody up on these ones, this is 2 mugs that I've done. They're a pair of mugs. Exactly the same colors, but on different color mugs. So we've got one on black and one on white. Now what we found with the white is that these blue, the dark blue, very harsh on the white background. So we've started to add top dots in here. So I'm going to do the top swoops on these dark blue ones. It'll catch it up here. And then 24 hours from now, tomorrow, I will do the final top dots on the mugs, on this mug. I'm leaving the black one the way it is because this blue, this midnight metallic blue just looks so stinking rich on the black, and I don't want to cover that up. But I think on the white, it's important. So we are going to finish this one. Now, where did I put paint? That is the question. This is it here, I think. Oh, that's not it. I used the matte turquoise on that one. So, where did I put the little paint pot? I've got all these little paint pots floating around. And the problem is I think I'm going to, write down what they are, what they're supposed to look like, whether they're multi-surface or not. You'd think that I would have a handle on doing this by now. And I've talked a great game saying that I was going to do it. And, yeah. All talk, no action, apparently. So let's see what I can do here. I just gotta find them. Where are they? Oh, there's one. Oh, there's the other one. So it's the midnight blue, and then here is the midnight blue. And then I've got some fun little silver details to do on here after as well. But those I'm keeping to myself until after my friends have their mugs, and then I'll show them off. Oh, thank you, Deb. Thanks, Jennings. How you doing, love? Rita, on the mugs, I'm using multi-surface acrylic paints. Thank you, Gail. Thanks, Jules. I'm so glad to hear that, Christine. That's so fun. That's so fun that he enjoyed it, too. Hi, Sue. It's good to see you. For puffy dots, I do the big dots in everything in all the same paint. So I use either multi-surface acrylic paints or I use regular craft acrylics or regular acrylic paints. Mine tend to dry fairly flat, so I don't have a ton of texture unless I put multiple layers of paints on. Thank you so much, Deb. Thanks, boss lady. Sorry, Rita, I just answered that. Did you hear that when I went through it, or were you, just want to make sure, because I want to make sure you got your answer. I don't want you to not get your answer. I'm doing good. I'm doing so good. Thanks, Channing. Okay, good, Rita. I'm so glad. Okay, perfect. So yeah, multi-surface acrylic paints. You can also use enamel paints or glass paints. And yeah, the way to get texture specifically on the mugs is just multiple layers of paint. About an hour in, Sue. We're just about an hour in, so not too much at all. And actually, why don't I put the top dots on the center dots so you can see what they're going to look like, and then you'll have an idea of what the swoops will look like. So we'll do the final top dots on the little dots in between, and then, there we go, that's better. We'll do some top dots in there, and then we'll do the first layer of top dots there. Oh, that's so kind, Donna. Thank you. We got space for everybody. All are welcome. All right, so now I'm going to use my lighter blue. So the same light blue that is sorry, my dirty fingernail, right here, I'm going to use for the top dot here. I might still put another tiny top dot on after of the white pearl, but I'm going to wait and see. I think this is probably going to be as far as we go, but I might put a little bit more on there. We'll see. It's gonna make these ones look kind of like little jewels all over the place. Why are there numbers on top of some names? I have no idea. No, don't need to seal the mugs after I'm done. The multi-surface acrylic paint is going to cure to be top shelf dishwasher safe. However, with all the delicate design, I always recommend anybody that buys my mugs, please hand wash, gentle hand washing. Never, ever, ever let it sit in water. Ever, 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 ever. So just really very gentle hand washing and do the best you can to not have to scrub, and definitely no letting it sit in water. Even for 5 minutes. Don't risk it ever, ever, ever. So multi-surface acrylic paints, enamel, and glass paints all cure very similarly. They either can be baked or they can be air cured. To air cure them, it takes 21 to 28 days to properly air cure them so that they are good to go and usable and washable. My favorite brand of multi-surface right now is Craftsmart. I really like Martha Stewart as well. Look at that. That looks so freaking cool. Oh, yes. And also no microwave. Thank you, Cindy. Yes, very, very important. No microwave. That looks really cool. I really like that. Doesn't that look neat? So now these swoops are all going to have the same kind of 3D look as those little ones in the middle. And then the black mug is going to be over here looking all sleek and sexy. That blue is just like, come on. That's so amazing. These are Craftsmart multi-surfaces that I use here. Thank you, Lish. All right, so I'm going to start on the top swoops for that teal. So this is a matte metallic that I'm using. Craftsmart has, so they've got the multi-surface premium ultra bright metallic acrylic, and then they also have the multi-surface premium matte multi-surface. So it's kind of cool. Oh, thank you, Lish. I'm so glad. That makes me so happy. So I haven't painted, other than these mugs, I haven't painted a lot of mugs lately, so I need to get back on that horse, don't I? Get back to painting them. Because I definitely haven't done very many over the last little while. Maybe I'll put that on the docket for this week. Get a bunch of mugs done, maybe. I really want to get the other pattern done so that you guys can play around with that one too. When it comes to your multi-surface paints, keep an eye out for bubbles. Try and pop them as soon as you see them when the paint is as wet as humanly possible. Once it starts to dry, it gets that kind of film over the outside of the dot when the paint's drying, because it dries from the outside in, right? And it can leave kind of little divot marks almost. How many obstacles are these mugs? What? Many, many, many obstacles. I'll finish this one and then I'll come right back, Cindy. I gotta pop a bubble here too. Maybe. Get out of there. Ounces. These mugs are 16-ounce mugs. 15 or 16. If you fill your tea up to the brim like I do, like I barely leave any space, it's a good 16 ounces. I don't have time for half-filled cups of tea. Thanks, Donna. I'm really, really happy with these. I think they turned out beautiful. I hope they like them. So these will go onto my shelf, and I'm doing 30 days now for all of my mugs just to be on the safe side. So I let the mugs, these are going to sit out on my shelf for 30 days, and then they will be on their way to their new home. Oh, sorry. All right. There we go. I know, like obstacles, right? Totally relatable. Many, many obstacles. Oh, that's going to look so pretty when those swoops kind of glow in the dark like the dots do. Oh, it's going to be so pretty. I'm very excited. Sorry for squealing in your ear, but I'm very excited. I think the matte metallic has a really pretty finish. Very subtle. Okay. Oh, bubble. Get out of there, bubble. There we go. It does kind of look peacockish, doesn't it? Right? They do so much. It's crazy how much these top dots and top swoops do. And it's so funny how on the black, they are not necessary at all. But on the white, they're crucial, I think. So far, anyway, I'm super happy with how they've turned out. I just took my phone to see how your mugs are doing. He's that excited, eh? That invested. Thanks, Shannon. How you doing, love? Good to see ya. I got started doing mandalas. I was struggling with depression after a loss. I was stuck in some pretty deep grief, and I was listening to and devouring a lot of content by a gentleman named Kyle Cease, and he changed my life. He made me happy to be alive again. And he just had such a nice perspective on everything. And one of the things that he talked a lot about was figuring out what are your tens? What are the things that you can do that are tens? So the things that time just kind of melts away, you could do them for hours. You can't wait to do them again. All of those sorts of things. And one of the exercises was, if you don't know what your tens are, start kind of just looking around, watching. People in the Facebook group were sharing what their tens to see if it inspired people, and people were getting out and trying all kinds of different things. And there was a lady in the Facebook group who was celebrating that she just finished teaching her very first mandala drawing workshop. And when I looked it up and she showed pictures of it from her workshop, I just took one look at it and I went, oh my God, I want to do that. And I also simultaneously had the thought, oh my God, I could do that. I don't know why I thought I could do it, but probably the math part of it. I was always really good at math. Numbers and patterns and symmetry was always a really good thing for me and very satisfying for me. So that probably helped a lot. And then I've fallen so head over heels in love with it that when COVID hit, my other business that I was doing came to a complete and total standstill. And I was starting with this, and I thought, well, now's the time. Got some time on my hands, so let's turn this into a business. So it's now my full-time job. That's awesome, Christine. And I have never been happier. And the fact that you guys are enjoying it so much when you're doing it is just... That's just lovely. It's such a lovely little family that we're building here. How's it doing in Winnipeg today, Barb? Are you still here? Are you frozen solid? Do you still have company at home? Are you good? All right. And I think just like with the dots, when they get that final layer of the light blue on top of these swoops, I think they're going to be perfection. I think. Oh, and we're going to do a top dot on the handle. There's a design on the handle as well. So I'll show you that when I get these last 3 swoops done. Just trying to hold on to this without getting my hand in it. That's one thing to kind of come to terms with as well, especially on the mugs, but on canvases as well. Give stuff time to dry if there's a chance that you are going to stick your arm in it. I've done that before where I've reached over a painting and completely stuck my arm through and smudged like 8 to 10 inches worth of a painting. That was on a guitar I was painting. I cried. I cried that day. I was not happy. So don't be, it's one of those things you're going to probably find that you have a lot of different pieces on the go at the same time, all in different stages, because there's lots of times where you need to set it aside for it to dry, right? So don't be afraid to do that. Don't be afraid to set it aside and come back to it. Like in theory here, I could probably set this aside and wait for those other ones to dry so that I have a better handhold on this, but much in the way that I don't make 2 trips in from the car after grocery shopping. I'm way too stubborn. This is happening now. Cold there, Barb? That's awful. You guys get hammered so bad. I'm located in Ontario, Canada. Struggling with my small dots. I've started over about 5 times so far. Completely normal. Completely normal. I was starting to make some small stones and doing that first row around the center dot. I think I did that on a live. I think I want to say I tried like 4 or 5 different times and couldn't get it. I had to walk away and say, guess I'm not painting these today because I can't do it. So it's another one though. When in doubt, slow way, way, way down. Exactly, right? You can have a bunch of different things. A bunch of different things on the go and different inspirations, right? So you can kind of start different ideas. I'm east of Toronto, Rita. I live about an hour and a half outside of Toronto. It's fun to have a bunch of different stuff on the go and be able to come back to it. Sometimes that can be tough though, because sometimes you have to kind of find that inspiration again for a piece. There's been ones that I've set aside, not because I didn't like them, but just life happened and something got switched around. And I got sidetracked off of that project for a bit. That I found some of them I've never been able to go back to, because by the time I get back to it, so it's definitely a lot of fun though when it's a matter of like waiting for stuff to dry and having something else to work on. All right. There we go. Oh, great big bowl in that one. All right. So we've got this one swoop, and then we're going to do a little bit of detail on the handle. We've got a top dot to add there. And then these bad boys will go back on the shelf for 24 hours, and then I'll be able to do the final top swoops tomorrow evening. Into the small pots. I do that because I can't dot out of the bottles, and I don't like using palettes. I want to not have to cover palettes to keep the paints from drying out. So I use these little paint pots so that I don't have to worry about my paints drying out. I can just close them up, and the next day they're good as gold. All right, one more top dot on here. So there's the handle design on the white one. So we're going to put one of the top dots on this middle one, and we'll wait for that to dry too. I order them off of Amazon. Now I also bought these at a dollar store. They're little bead containers, these little ones, and these are nice, but they hold an absolute huge amount of paint, like 2 or 3 of these. So these are really good for mixing paints for larger projects, or if you're going to do multiple projects there. I know, I was worried about that too. But we are in the clear. That's one of those ones I had to blow past it. Some of the tools have metal tips. All right, so there we go. That's where we're at right now, and we'll let that dry and do some top swoops tomorrow. So I do have some that have metal tips, the ones that are the nail dotting stylus tools with the little metal balls on the ends. And then these ones that look like pencils, they come in all different sizes. They're by DIY Mandala Stones, and they come in a whole bunch of different sizes for different size dots. So I use these ones for dots that are all the same size all the way around, and then I use the nail dotting stylus anytime I have the walking dots to do. But they work really, really well. All right, so let's bring this one back in. And let's, oh no, my heated blanket turned off. There we go. It's starting to get cold. I'm like, what the heck's going on? This has a short auto off switch. Way too short for me. So what are we gonna do out here? Okay, well, we can do the swoops in the middle here, and that's going to be the Periwinkle Blue. So I'm going to give this a stir. We don't have much of this paint left, so hopefully we will have just enough. I can always make more because that's just Periwinkle Blue with some white in it. I just don't want to make too much more because this is probably going to be the last project in these colors that I do for a little bit. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a blue swoop that goes all the way down to here, just halfway down. It's going to go down to the bottom of the lightest ones, or the pinkest ones, I should say. So let's grab some paint. And start shaping some swoops. This paint is a lot thicker. It's dried out quite a bit. Another thing I could do is I could grab some pouring medium and thin it out just a little bit. But I'm not gonna do that. I'm just gonna power through. Need more paint on there. I change directions an awful lot too because depending on which side I'm working on. So again, just remember there's no rules. Do whatever is going to be the easiest for you and to help you create the look that you're trying to create. And when you're using the tool to move, to shape the swoops, you're not painting with the tool or drawing with the tool. You're coaxing the paint into the shape that you want. You're just kind of nudging it to get it into the shape that you want it to be. Okay? So there we go. Now we go to the next one. Hi, Carolyn. How you doing? How you feeling? Sending you lots and lots of love. I'm glad you're here. All right. Let me see there. There we go. Spin it around. Now these are a little bit smaller than the same swoops on the original pattern or even on the green one that I did. And that's okay too. It doesn't have to all be the same size, right? Whatever works and fits with your design. That's all you got to worry about. And thank you, love. I'm glad you like it. I'm really happy with it. Really, really happy with it. I think it's turned out really nice. My paint is super gummy though, so it's causing... And I'm sitting here complaining about it, but I could fix it. But I'm choosing not to, so I really shouldn't complain about it. I think this one would look really, really pretty in like whites and golds. In like a snowflake pattern, snowflake colors. I think that there's so many cool possibilities with this design. So if you're new, I've made this into a pattern. It's available for $5.50 Canadian on my website. It's an instant download and it walks you through all of this sort of stuff. This is my second pattern that I've done so far and second of many to come. You've been down, having a couple good days. Oh, I'm sorry, Carolyn. I'm sending you so much love. I'm glad you're having a good couple of days. Your cat is watching too. That's amazing. Oh, thank you, Jot. About 3 years now. About 3 years. Now for how long have I been doing it as my full-time job? That has been since last year. No, sorry, 2020. So 2 years as my full-time job. And it's fun to see my business growing and becoming more and more stable. It's fun. Oh, good. I'm glad you're accepting all the love, because I have tons to send ya. There we go. That's better. We're perilously low on paint. Oh, thank you so much, Molly. I'm so glad you like it. It's so fun to look at one design and think of all these different ways that you could paint it, right? It's so friggin' cool. All the different colors and all the different possibilities. Oh, there's a paint booger. There we go. Got it. Sometimes I'll dip the tool back in the paint instead of just dragging the paint down. It helps it flow a little bit easier. Helps you kind of get really specific with where you're putting the paint too. So you'll see me do that here again in a second. My website is mandalaloveaffair.com, and there is a link in my bio if that's helpful for you. It'll take you right there. mandalaloveaffair.com. Aw, that's so nice. I love you guys giving love to each other. You're welcome, Gail. If you have any questions at all, don't hesitate to reach out, okay? One thing that I'm going to be doing, and we had a great weekend, is when I release a new pattern, I'm going to release a couple of workshop dates as well. So that if you want to sit and paint with me on a Zoom and kind of get started, if you've got questions about paint colors or maybe using different colors or changing up the pattern at all, or depending on what you're painting on, we had a really, really good time sitting and painting together. What I kind of hope to be able to do is to walk you through the start of the pattern. We don't get through the whole thing, but at least get through the start of it to get you started on it and to help you figure out where you want to go next, if you need any help with any techniques or anything like that as well. And just kind of have some one-on-one time with you guys, one-on-one in a group, and at least you get to see everybody's stuff. So that's something I really had fun. I got great feedback from the people who attended this weekend. So I'm really, really looking forward to doing more of them. And actually, while I'm thinking of it, I am going to just go and remove the workshop options off my website right now. So bear with me 2 seconds, because I don't have any more workshops for this particular pattern. Oops. So let's go edit. No, we're going to take you out of there. So the only option that's available now is just the downloadable pattern. So it's a 6-inch pattern in total, and goes through lots of different techniques and stuff too. All right, there we go. So it's something I'm going to continue to do because it was super, super, super fun. We had a great time, and definitely something we want to keep going with. Okay, and I think I let that dry too long. So what I'm going to do, I'll show you how I fix the mistakes. On some of these dotting tools, some of them that you can get, they have metal balls on the end, and then they've got silicone brushes on the end. And then I just use that to kind of clean off the paint. I do also go in with a wood stir stick to kind of get rid of any rough spots there and pull up any other paint that's just kind of clumped there. Do it that way. And now I will grab my gesso, which is my background color, and we'll just paint over that and come back to it. Yeah, I think it'll be really, really fun. I think it's going to be really fun. For the incense holder, so when you are lighting incense sticks, you stick them in here like this, and then you can light your incense stick, and then this is going to catch the ashes. So yeah, nice stinky stuff to make your home smell good. I love incense. So you buy your sticks of incense, and then, yeah. This allows, it catches the ashes. You're welcome, Jot. No problemo. And no such thing as a bad question. Anytime you have questions, you just let me know. I'm happy to answer. Okay. If you are painting on canvas and have not already discovered the magic that is gesso, I highly recommend it. I used to hate painting on canvas, hate with a passion. And then I started using gesso, and I have a nice smooth surface, and I don't fight against the fibers in the canvas fabric anymore. Definitely worth the investment. Yep, so I will go over it with some... I'll go over it with some Mod Podge. Sorry, your username kind of freaked me out because my mom has a username for a couple programs that's Lucy Lou. So I'm like, is that my mom asking questions or no? Hi, Crystal. Oh, I'm so glad. So I use Mod Podge and water to seal this, and it protects it, gives it a nice coat of like a varnish. You'll be able to wipe down the incense holder with a damp cloth to clean up any like the ashes from the incense sticks and stuff like that. And the nice part is when it's mixed 50-50 with water, it applies really, really smooth, doesn't leave the cloudy bits. And like sometimes when varnish builds up, it can leave little cloudy spots, or if there's bubbles, it can leave these cloudy spots on your artwork. And Mod Podge doesn't seem to do that. It's nice and thin. So I thin it 50-50 with water, and it doesn't get the tackiness. A lot of people were having issues with Mod Podge having this tackiness after it dried, and I haven't had that since I started watering it down. I did have it when I used just Mod Podge straight out of the bottle on some of my stones. I had massive tackiness issues. So, but I haven't since I started watering it down. And it's nice too because it's an inexpensive option, right? It makes things nice and durable. They even have a dishwasher safe one. So you could probably, paint this with this stuff with regular acrylic paints, put a dishwasher safe sealer over top of it, and be perfectly good. I know, gesso comes in black and it's amazing. Thanks, Becca. Thanks for the love. All right, so I'm going to let that one dry. We'll come back to that one. Let's keep powering through and get the rest of these blue swoops done. Now there's a couple little details that were in the original pattern that I've either forgot to add in here, or in this particular one I didn't have room for. I forgot about it on the green one. But don't be afraid to change the pattern. You don't have to follow it letter for letter, right? Take all the liberties that you want with it. This is getting out of hand. I have gotten to a place like this before where I've screwed up on a swoop like this and had to replace the entire kind of petal shape. It happens. Sometimes you have to go super far back to fix it. But you're most welcome. My brace I only use when I'm picking stuff up. When I'm just sitting and holding it like this, I'm not using my brace. I find that it gets in the way more than anything. So when I'm painting mugs, or when I'm painting the sides of these, like when I have to hold it like a tiny hamburger, then I 100% put the brace on. I promise. But because this hand just has to sit here and it gets to kind of just spin and it sits at a nice natural angle, I don't worry about it when I'm painting this stuff. But as soon as I have to pick anything up, I promise I put it right on. Holding the mugs and everything, it can be really hard on your hands. And even just holding all of these tools really tightly, you might feel numbness, you might feel cramping in your hands. So please make sure that you take care of your hands. Give yourself lots of breaks, stretch your hands a lot. Just take care of them because they're what let you do this, right? But thank you for the concern, Carolyn. I really appreciate that. You're so sweet. All right, hopefully, let's see. I gotta scoop this paint more into a bit of a pile so I can scoop it up nice and easily with my tool to place the paint down. We're getting close to the end. Could I build up the handles? Like, oh yeah, I've painted up the side up here before. Is that what you mean? Let me know if that's what you mean, Lucy Lou. Could I build up the handles of your tools? Yeah, you probably could. Yeah, you probably could. Just like you would build up a pen or a pencil or anything. Yeah, you totally could. Totally good. Yeah, do whatever works for you. Whatever makes it easier on your body, makes it enjoyable, right? So that's the thing. Just make sure you're tuning into your body because your body is going to give you messages while you're sitting and doing all of this painting. And it might be that it needs some rest. It might be that it needs some water. It might be that it needs some movement. You'll get lots of that. Lots and lots of nice clear messages from your body, for sure. Oops, I think I'm out too far. There we go. You're not going to be able to use the glow paint. Oh, really? I wonder if you got some thicker paint. Well, you can get neon medium that you can add to any paint. I wonder if that would work, Crystal. If you go to Michael's in the acrylic paint section, Craftsmart has some, and I believe Deco Art as well. I don't know if Folk Art does or not, but they have medium that you can add to paint to make it neon. So I'm wondering if you had like a gel medium to thicken the paint and then added in a little bit more of the neon medium, if that would help at all. It could be an interesting experiment. Like some gel medium to thicken up the paint and then a little bit more neon medium in there to help keep it nice and bright in case the medium does anything. Oh, that's so frustrating. Oh, that's cool. That's a cool idea. I haven't played around too much with gel mediums, so I'm not 100% sure how that would work, but I know that that is a way that you can thicken the paint. All right, and then we got the last one to do. And then we'll do some gold detail on the green one. And that will round out our 2 hours. I believe it's been 2 hours already. Crazy. It's gone by so fast tonight. Thank you everybody for coming to hang out with me. I really appreciate you coming to hang while I paint. I hope that you found it enjoyable and relaxing, and I hope you feel welcome in this environment and with this lovely little family that we're building. And I'm grateful that you're here, so thank you. You guys are why I get to do this as my full-time job, so I appreciate you very much. The new patterns on the website. There's a couple of mugs on the website, including my sunflower dot mandala mugs that I'm going to be donating all of the sales from those mugs to Ukraine, to a couple organizations to help people in Ukraine, and to help people and their animals in Ukraine. So if you know anybody that would like a sunflower mug, those babies will be ready to go soon. Oh, I'm so glad. Don't want to mess up my tea light, so I'm playing around with it. Yeah. Give it a shot, right? I don't know if it's going to be the right answer for you, love, but it might be worth an experiment. I don't know what it's going to do because, yeah, the neon paints are very, very thin. All right, so we're going to continue on with this tomorrow. So we'll add the top swoops, and then we're going to add another little ring of swoops up here that we'll kind of fan it out and do the end, or I might just do a border. That might actually be a lot of fun to do. It's just a nice border. And we'll keep adding in this detail. I've got some, actually I'll do that right now. I want to do little tiny teal detail in here. So we'll do that. So I'm going to grab the teal right at the bottom there. I have top swoops to do on these purple ones too, so actually now that I'm thinking that this, I'm not going to keep going with these teal because I'm going to have top swoops to do on the purple, and then I'll have to redo those. So, but we're getting there, slowly but surely, and then we'll build out the design and we'll be good to go. I love this one though. I really love this pattern. It makes me really happy. All right. And it's so cool to me. It still just is so freaking cool when this is the same design, just with fewer petals. It's only got 8 petals as opposed to this one that has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 12, right? So 4 extra petals, completely different design. Isn't that cool? I love these. Okay, so let's go in and we're going to do some detail on this one before we head out. Oh, you're most welcome, Patty. Thank you guys for coming and hanging out with me all the time. I love it. I absolutely love it. This is the first time I've been able to sit down and paint today. So thank you, thank you, thank you. It's like accountability, scheduling these lives. I'm like, I have to go. It's like when you agree to meet your friend at the gym, which is why I never agree to meet friends at the gym, because then I have to go, right? So this is nice though, because it's a great way to force me to sit down and get some paint done on those days that are just a little bit more hectic, or on days when it's just a little tougher, right? Everybody's going through so much, and we got to do what we can to give ourselves a few breaks. Thanks, Lucy Lou. I love it. I love it. And there's still lots more detail to go into this too. Just these little tiny details alone are going to really bling it up. There we go. And then I've got a couple edges to do. So I'm going to get started on those over the next couple days as well. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to have mugs on the go at the same time as I'm doing the edges. So that because I need to put my stuff down quite frequently when I'm doing the edges, even when I'm wearing the wrist brace, because my hands just get really sore. So it'll be nice to have the mugs to try something different. And I know that the mugs make my hands sore too, but they make my hands sore in a very different way than the incense holders do. The incense holders, my hands cramp up because I'm holding the incense holder like a really skinny hamburger. Excuse me. And then the mugs are just different grips and angles that I'm holding my wrist on. So it is actually a nice break from doing the edges on these to switch to some mugs. So I think that's what we'll do. We'll get a couple more mugs in the mix and get all of these edges done and see how it goes. Hi, Holly. How you doing? It's good to see ya. We are just winding up, my dear. Getting ready to sign off here in about 5 minutes, 10 minutes. I'm glad you're here. So all of these dark green dots are going to have top dots on them as well, that are going to be the gradually lighter and lighter top dots. And it's going to make these swoops and these big dots out here look like they're just 3D and jumping right off the surface, which is going to be fun. I'm glad you're doing good. That's wonderful to hear. So glad you had a good weekend. Molly, if you're still here, we're sending you lots of love and healing vibes. Carolyn, sending you lots of love. Everybody, it's just so nice that we exchange all of this love within this group here. Please take care of yourselves. Please be kind to yourselves. Please give yourself time to do some of the stuff that you really, really enjoy, even if it's only for 5 or 10 minutes. Follow that joy. Everything in life gets easier. Everything. Spent time with my daughter. Oh, that's so nice, Holly. Always late for the party. Sorry, love. Start having longer parties next time. I'm thinking I'm going to shift and I'll do a couple that are like 8 to 10 or even 9 to 11 and do a little bit of late night stuff. That could be fun. So I'm just going to do every other for this right now. Oh no, I can... Yeah, only every other for this one right now. I've got top swoops to do on these gold ones, so I don't want to risk doing these gold detail dots until I've got those top swoops done. Just an FYI, don't purchase anything to store your paints in. What? No, Patty. Are you kidding me? Oh my God, I'm gonna cry. Thank you. Thank you, Dale. Oh my gosh. That is so sweet. Patty. Thank you. I don't even know what to say. I'm very excited. So I'm going to get to meet you soon. That's going to be awesome. Thank you, Music Love. So this is that tiny, tiny clay sculpture tool. I was going to be surprised by you with receiving those paints. I didn't want you buying anything. Oh, I'm sorry I ruined the surprise. I promise I won't. I've got my nice little buckets that I'll keep them with. But yeah, I wasn't sure what I was going to do with them all. That's so kind, Patty. I'm I'm sorry I ruined the surprise, but I'm very excited. Thank you, Chandu. All right, you guys, so we're gonna do a long goodbye here. If you guys have any questions at all, please don't hesitate to reach out. All the links for my shop, my Facebook group, my patterns, all my hand-painted pieces, all of that's in my bio. If you have any questions at all, please don't hesitate to let me know. And if you try out the pattern, let me know what you think. I can't wait to see what you guys create with it, and I will always, always, always want to see the things that you've painted, whether it's from my pattern or not. You paint something and you want me to see it, please send it. I love it, love it, love it. Hi in London. Thank you, Miss Ritzy. That's so sweet. I'm glad you like it. And just keep taking care of yourselves, you guys, and I will look forward to hanging out with you again soon. I'm doing a live tomorrow from 2 to 4 somewhere. I believe it's on Instagram, or maybe it's Facebook. I don't even remember. But if you check out my last post here on TikTok, my live schedule for the week is there, and it will have the details on where I will be live tomorrow afternoon. And then we'll do an evening on Wednesday, and then get into our nice busy weekend where we get to spend tons of time together with a whole bunch of lives. So let me know if you guys have questions, and I will look forward to hanging out with you all again really, really soon. And I love you. Thanks, you guys. See you soon. Bye-bye.